30, 40, 50 million people in. We've got retiring baby boomers. I think the number is 78 million. I'm sure there's some overlap in there, but you're talking tens of millions of people coming in. You're dealing with the issue of reimbursement rates, and every year they threaten to reduce the reimbursement rates for doctors, and at the last minute in the vote, they back away from it, right? They threaten the hospitals with reduced reimbursement rates for Medicaid.
And Medicare.
Right? And Medicare both. So, I mean, I understand the broader vision where you're oriented to customer care, but, I mean, when it comes to planning, Jeff, how do you plan in this kind of an environment when everybody agrees we really don't know what's coming? Right. Not literally, but figuratively we do anyway.
Well, the focus needs to be at several levels, right? Access. So with more and more people potentially being insured, more and more people aging who have more complex conditions, we need to ensure that the healthcare delivery system as a whole is organized so that people can access it at the right level of care and have smooth and easy accessibility. At the same point, our focus within our organization is to ensure that we have value, to ensure that we are able to deliver low-cost healthcare at high quality. And to do that, we have to reduce the redundancies that exist, but increase through clinical protocols the quality of care that's being delivered.
So, Jeff, if I get what you're telling me, and you correct me if I'm wrong, what you're saying is, although you're conscious of the fact that there is this thing called Obamacare, and it is coming in whatever form it's coming, essentially the Hartford healthcare system in general and Hartford Hospital is going to do what it needs to do anyway. And you're focused on the customer, so you're building an infrastructure that's going to house whatever it is that comes at you. And is that correct?
Well, we're developing a system around the patient that's truly putting the patient at the center of how we organize our services, our resources. When you think about what's occurring in the demographics you described, Jim,
right.
Think about how many people have multiple chronic conditions. Today, hospitals and healthcare systems are organized around sick care. We truly need to be organized around taking care of people from wellness through illness, but not episodically. And to do so, we need information systems. We need different levels of analytical support so that we can truly manage care proactively as opposed to reactively. And we need to have a system and a structure that takes physicians and other caregivers, brings them together to organize themselves around the patient and around specific diseases. Because so often, commonly, people don't need to see a specialist or a provider, but a team of individuals who need to take care of that patient collectively.
Okay. So I send you to Washington, D.C., Jeff, right? My new president and CEO. I send you to Washington, D.C. Say, look, I got a meeting with you and with President Obama. And so we sit down, and I'm the president, naturally, and you're the president and CEO of Hartford. Say, look, Jeff, listen, you're the new president and CEO of one of the major medical institutions in the Northeast, and specifically in America in general. So if you had to list and give me the top 2 or 3 concerns that you have about this health care bill that we just passed, what would they be? What should I watch out for?
Well, I think importantly, we need to continue investment in information systems. The capacity to take care of patients wherever they present themselves becomes absolutely essential.
AKA electronic medical records.
Electronic medical records that all speak to each other. The way it evolved over time is different systems exist and they're proprietary, they don't speak to each other. So where you present yourself and you've had drug interactions or you've had prior surgeries or other type of allergies, the right people may not know under the right circumstances. So I believe that the new system and structure has to support massive investment around medical technology that coordinates that care.
Okay.
And in addition, we have to continue to invest in primary care. We need to ensure that we have the right incentives in place so that we've got proper numbers and properly trained primary care physicians within our community.
Jeff, that's a nice segue. Thank you for that segue. The reality of it is from what I read, Jeff, and I've had Dr. Bruce Brumberger on the show, who you know,
Certainly.
Who's been primary care physician for 35 years. And there's a shortage right now, about 300,000 to 400,000 of them. And you got 40 million people coming into the system, ostensibly, right? And with this shortage that exists, what I see and hear and read is that given the shortage of primary care physicians, that there are a lot of physicians, Jeff, that really don't want to open their own practice. What they want to do is be a W-2 to the hospital. They want to be employed by the hospital. Is that a correct perception? And what do you see in the future with that?
It has been, the trend is that it's happening at increasing levels. At the same point, our vision and our position within Hartford Hospital, in Hartford Healthcare, we have a pluralistic medical staff. So our medical staff is made up of full-time staff members, physicians who work directly for the organization, and we have a very significant number of private practitioners who truly make an immeasurable contribution. So there are certain programs and certain services based on reimbursement that really have great difficulty maintaining a degree of private practice. And in a number of instances, those have folded within the institution, so we view it as a program as the whole. But Jim, in other instances, there are many private practices that do well, that can continue to do well, and we partner with them through technology to still integrate our services around patients for quality, but they do not need to be under the employment of the institution.
Okay. That's going to be an interesting challenge, Jeff, because given the reimbursement rate wars that happen all the time, given the regulations and the paperwork, et cetera, they have to go through, and given the malpractice stuff that they go through, especially people like OBGYNs, there's going to be an attraction to, you know what, let Jeff Flax and the whole Hartford Hospital deal with that stuff. I just want to be a doctor. So your challenge is going to be to attract them and pay them and reward them, et cetera.
Unquestionably.
So, as a new president and CEO, Jeff, what do you see as your primary management challenges at Hartford Hospital?
I believe, and we're working very closely with our physicians, the entire organization, that we are at a very important moment where we are restructuring the hospital, where, as all hospitals kind of developed over time, and in many ways organized around the provider, we at Hartford Hospital have great clarity around organizing ourselves around the patient. And it requires us to really look at everything we do and how we do it, and look at it from the other perspective, from the way the patient and family interacts with us and how we coordinate and navigate their care. So the challenge for us is we have to do things differently. And we're working very hard, and we've been under a great trajectory of continuing to increase satisfaction for our patients and our staff. But we're truly trying to change the way healthcare is delivered.
Yeah, and you know what? I applaud your efforts, Jeff, and I admire your challenge because some of the stakeholders that you have, as we both know, Jeff, are not given to change easily. Right? I mean, we know that, Jeff. So you have, and the cultural absorption of all the change that's coming is going to be a challenge for you too. What do you see as the biggest competitive situations you're going to be facing?
Well, the challenges you mentioned. I mean, with decreased reimbursement at the federal and state level, reductions that have occurred in terms of some of the state funding and so forth, right, creates an increasing challenge for us. The inability to continue to escalate cost in healthcare. So we need to focus on value. And our focus is around raising quality, making very smart and very purposeful investments around how to raise quality. But at the same time, we have to be reducing inefficiency and waste, which creates the cost improvements. And the two can be done together.
You know, it's interesting, Jeff. There's an old management axiom that says along the lines, our managers do things right and leaders do the right things. And I'm sure that you want to continue the Hartford tradition of being innovative and pioneering. Do you have any things in your mind right now? We've got about 3 minutes to go. Do you have any things in your mind right now where you see yourself leading efforts to pioneer in this, and this? And if so, what are they?
Certainly. We're doing some really terrific and very innovative work within our transplant program. Just recently at Hartford Hospital, we had done the first successful transplant in the history of the state of Connecticut for a patient who was HIV positive for a heart transplant. Which is really an indication of the strength of the total range of services at the hospital to successfully be able to do that procedure. 9 days later, this individual left the hospital well.
Wow.
So it truly is remarkable. We're doing some really fabulous innovation in our cardiac surgical program. And we're now doing mechanical hearts. They call them VADs. We're actually doing things today where these people would have had no quality of life. And today we're putting mechanical hearts in place where you can't believe how they're able to live a full and productive life.
When you say mechanical heart, you mean parts that go into the heart that's there already, or a replacement heart?
It's in essence adjacent to the heart, and it really was what was characterized as a bridge to transplant. So it used to be used really to buy time until someone would be eligible to get a heart for transplant. But today they're increasingly staying in longer, and patients are no longer in the hospital with that mechanical device, but living at home, being monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by our staff, and always under our care, but living productive lives. The work that's being done at Hartford Hospital and the culture of our institution, Jim, is really around innovation Our physicians are doing fabulous work.
You know, it doesn't take, and we've got less than 2 minutes left, Jeff, it doesn't going all the way back to listening to you talk about your robotics and the mannequins and now the mechanical heart, that someday you will have physicians in Hartford Hospital that are doing operations across the country, across the world, right? I mean, that's...
Well, we're videotaping them today. By coincidence, we just held a conference where we had a robotics conference because we're in the top 10 robotic surgical hospitals in the world. And we did it with the Cleveland Clinic and the University of Southern California, where their leadership came to Hartford Hospital. Physicians and expert physicians from around Connecticut also came in from around the Northeast. And they had a live conference where we beamed our surgeries across the internet. And it was really remarkable. And our surgeon, interoperatively, was having a conversation with a panel of people in a 400-person auditorium. And it was being viewed on the internet. So we're not far away from what you're talking about, and there's great innovation, and it's really the spirit and quality of the medical staff that enables it.
So, I mean, Jeff, not only are there cultural changes that have to be made because of what's coming at you with Obamacare, et cetera, but there's significant technological change that's going to drive the way healthcare is done.
There is, and I could tell you that again, is one of the great benefits of Hartford Healthcare. Because with our institution, it's not designed to exclusively provide the services at Hartford Hospital, but in many ways, they often begin at Hartford Hospital, but not always. But we train and expand them. So today we have robots at New Britain General Hospital. We have robots at Midstate. And we're doing the same quality, the same level of innovative services at all of our institutions through a very coordinated process.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jeff, with robots in the future, that's going to have to be the last word, and we're having you back to tell us how you're doing in that area. Jeff, congratulations once again on your new assignment, and we'll see you again.
Jim, my pleasure.
And we'll be back with our next segment of the hour.